Has landscape photography ever been a chore to you? What was planned as a time of enjoyment has turned out to be frustrating and hard work. It's kicked you in the teeth and said, how dare you have fun? This little story is one of those times, and yet it started off so well.
Filming. So the last time you saw me, I was on my reunion back to the Lake District. Well, today I'm back in the Yorkshire Dales and the foothills of Ingleborough, which you can just see behind me, and I just love this place. I just love the weaving patterns, shapes, compositions you can get from this limestone features. Now, if you recall, I'm doing a project called Car, which is basically black and white photography, and the brief basically says using the patterns of the limestone as foreground, leading up to tree or trees in the background, and that's exactly what I've set up here. I've actually ventured further up away from my usual place which I've explored. I thought I'd venture up further towards Ingleborough, and I found this wonderful little area here, and what attracted me was, of course, a lone tree. It's a wonderful lone tree as well. Obviously this part of the year it's got some vegetation, but I just think it's got full of character. So I've ventured around, explored, and I've finally found a composition. Now, portrait orientation, I prefer to use portrait. Just lose my foot in there. I prefer to use portrait orientation if there's a strong foreground, and that's exactly what I've done in this case. There's a bit of repetition as well, which is also important. You see, this is what I mean when I say repetition. You've got the three rocks here at a diagonal as well, just create that additional interest. I've also ensured that I've got separation, so I've got grass around the features, just makes it easier on the eye, and then that of course leads you up to the tree in the background. I've had to get quite low just to ensure there's some separation between the horizon as well, obviously ensuring the tree stands out.
So at this moment I was fairly pleased. I managed to get a shot of something new in an area that I was so fond of. I'd explored further and it had paid off. One more image for my project, Happy Days. But then the turmoil started. For some reason I'd ventured back to an area where I was more familiar with, again hoping to get something new. I was failing no matter what, and this is when the anxiety came in. I'd upped my game over the years, and it felt I had an expectation to deliver images to a good standard. I was, however, losing the battle, but surely I would eventually conquer.
By coming here, I've certainly not made things easy for myself. It's a very difficult location to photograph, the main issue being separation. There's a cluster of trees every now and then, but they're all intersecting with each other. The other problem I've got is getting the foreground interest, going wide angle. You include the sky, and sometimes the sky doesn't always end with a pleasing image. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take advantage of the foliage on the trees, some lovely lime green leaves and the they're standing out. But I need to make sure that against a darkish background, which is the fells leading up to Ingleborough, there's some nice reflective light hitting them, which is bouncing off Whernside. So I'm not going to totally isolate the trees, but I'm just going to make sure that I focus in on a single tree where there's more of a character to it, so your eyes naturally drawn to it. Now usually what I do is find a composition, then do a piece of camera. I haven't done that yet, so fingers crossed. Yeah, difficult, very difficult indeed. I've just got out these 70 to 200 to try and isolate the trees as much as I can, excluding the sky. Fired off a few shots and held. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. You'll see what I've done with them in a minute. Apply different crops maybe, just to make them a bit more tastier. I homed in on a tree which is quite characteristic because it's leaning to an angle, and as I said before, that's what I want the eye to lead to. There's a few others as well, but yeah, no one said it was going to be easy. I'm going to venture up there, see what I can find, then it'll probably be the end of the session because the missus is beckoning. She wants the dinner. I'm not going to lie, I've nearly done a full workout video trying to get across this limestone. It's absolutely, I don't know, dangerous to say the least. I've got cramp, my 50-year-old muscles are crying out for help, all for a composition, and I'm rushing. I'm thinking the missus needs feeding. Well, she'll have to wait. I finally got a composition, and it's basically using a really strong foreground interest. Wide angle is on. I've actually included some trees either side of the frame, and it leads up to Whernside. Now Whernside, which is one of Yorkshire Dales' 3 peaks, has been lit up all day. I've set up now, it's gone. It's gone. So I'm going to hang around. It really is a strong foreground, just taking you in. But yeah, I'll wait around, but won't wait around for long. So this is the last image. It's been difficult today. I've struggled, it really is. I've not made it easy for myself. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to add at least one image, the first image I've got today, to my project, Carved. Take a look at my website. I'll drop a link at the end of the video. Right, hopefully I'll be back in the Lake District next week. Hopefully, we shall see. Anyway, take good care of yourself. Keep smiling. Bye bye for now. Ooh.